Hi everyone. Basically have a game I want to play to see how many items you can find on the screen. This is a speakeasy night. We're just being really slow and mellow tonight. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining. My name is Kalonda, and I'm so super excited that you're able to join tonight. So tonight I'm just having fun. See how many items you can find within the actual video. Actually, yeah, and we'll just talk about some ideas, some whatever comes to mind wherever you guys are from. Just basically want to just go ahead and get this started. Let's see. Everybody, if you're just coming in, double check, see if you can see any of the items. It looks like we have a notepad, we have a necklace, a compact. Tried to make this really fun and engaging. Let's see. Whoa, whoa. Just got the best of my love. Whoa, whoa. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome to the live. In out. Yes, 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 yes. I just trying to see if you can find any of the items. Like this is just need my glasses to see it. I can't even see like the scroll. Let me see. Do 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 do. Gemini. All right. Let's see. Welcome in. Welcome in. Just having a relaxing night. See if you can find any of the items on the screen. Just a laid back night tonight. No topics in particular. Just basically just hanging out and chilling, relaxing. Welcome in. If you're new here, just let me know where you're from. Love to know what part of the world you're tuning in from. I'm here on the West Coast. My name is Kalonda, and yeah, I just love having like fun activities to do just to keep the brain going. We do a lot of scrolling, and so yeah, if you can find the items for me, if you don't mind, put it in the chat. I love to see how good you are. I used to love these games as a kid. I played Finding Waldo, and I would spend all day trying to find stuff. And then there was also some other games that I like to play, which was See What's Wrong with the Picture. Maybe I'll do that next, but if you can, just see if you see the items. Like there's 11 of them, and see if you can find it. See how good you can inspect. I think this is how I became an investigator. Like literally, this is how it started as a kid. Like for real, looking at pictures. You know how like when we look at pictures now to see your if your man's cheating or looking for an arm, looking for evidence. This is where it started. It started right here. It started right here in these pictures. But yeah, let me know if you see any of the images. I have a whole bunch. And so I'm just relaxing tonight. There's seven, and I'm trying to figure out like how in the chat if I can see how to look at that. I don't know. To see if anyone is in the right area or the right right area of finding like all of these hidden items. Let me know where you guys from. I'm here on the West Coast in America, Las Vegas, where it's hot. And hi, how are you? Hi, good to see you. Hi, Shaniqua. So yeah, it's just a low key night, no topics. It's been heavy all week, so I just wanted just to relax and unwind and just play some games in the house because I think it's going to rain, but I may get out later on tonight. But yeah, there's like 11 items. Put it in the chat if you found it. I'm going to try to pull mine up on my screen too to see if I can find some as well. But yeah, there's like 7 things, and see if you can find them. Put them in the chat. I can already see one, and I really tried to make this really super hard because the other one was like super easy. But yeah, let me know. Speaking of which, when is the last time anyone's been to a speakeasy? Like, I can't even remember. I know in where I'm from, it's like they're trying to bring more culture, but it's like it's getting there. I'm not gonna knock anyone. It's getting there. But yeah, speakeasies are fun, especially like poetry if you're into it. Um, I just recently found like a whole bunch of my old poems. So this is what kind of like inspired me to create something like this, the Empower Her Vibes Speak Easy Lounge. And the things that Chat GPT did with my poems, like it was really, really awesome. But yeah, let me know. We're just hanging out here. I was supposed to bring up the picture. Let's see. Um, there we go. I think I have it too. Okay. So it looks like we're looking for a tiny key, a vintage fountain pen, a small antique lorette. I don't even know what that is. Is that like a purse or something? I think that's a purse. We're looking for a delicate pearl bracelet, a makeup compact, a gavel, lipstick bullet, a vintage stopwatch, and a small, oh gosh, okay, I see. One is so easy. Hi, Red Mustang, welcome in. We're just doing like a picture hunt of 11 items that you can see in the picture. Just low key night. I hope you're doing well. Let me know where you're coming in from. So yeah, again, a tiny key set. Oh God, I think I found 3 of them already. Lord Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna have to make these harder. So I'm gonna like go in and really make them work. Because I found one. Let me know if you found more than 3. Because I found it already. Okay, this is gonna be just too easy. Okay, I gotta make it hard because it is a skill set to be an investigator. It takes a special kind of person to look up some things for real. Um, Welcome in Empower Her Vibes, Speak Easy, picture finding night. So put in the chat. Let me know if any one of you found anything. I'd really love to see that. I found the small spool. I found, I don't know if that can go for the bracelet or not, but I found the bracelet. And let me know if this picture is clear too. And if I need to like blow it up or make it a little bit bigger. Those are only 2 things I found so far. Um, it's like you have to blow this thing all the way up. And what do you think she's talking about? I always like to turn the TV down and like make up my own. Um, but yes, here we go. We have, oh, I found the small lipstick bullet. Let me know if you found the lipstick bullet. Um, there are 11 items. There's a tiny key, which it looks like more like a scroll to me. And then there's like a vintage fountain pen, a small antique lorette. There's a bracelet, a pearl bracelet, and then a makeup compact. Let me know if you found it in the comments. I love to see. I found 3 so far, so I'm in it with you. I'm in it with you. I think I'm gonna like switch these out too because I kind of like this. There's 11 items. Okay, so maybe I'll do a real picture too next time. There's so many things you can do with this. Okay, a makeup compact. I'm surprised they don't have a hookah, but I guess this is back in the day, so they really didn't have hookahs back in the day. Um, think I see the pearl bracelet, but it's sketchy because it could be a placemat or something too. Um, Let me see. Let me know if you see anything, Red Mustang. Let me know if you see anything. Does anyone have, is this like your nickname, Red Mustang? Um, my nickname is KO because, I just knock out everything that I try. I try to knock out everything. Sometimes at work it's hard. But anyways, okay. Let me get back focused. Okay, I found the bracelet. Has anyone found the bracelet? Let's see. They're drinking martinis. Let's see. Stopwatch. Dang, maybe I need to put on my glasses for this. I need to put on my glasses. However, let's see. Put this. There we go. All right, so I think I found the small antique lorette, and I found the makeup compact. I found the lipstick bullet. I found the small spool, and those are the only thing I found so far. But let's see. I am going to go into a topic that I talked about earlier. I guess I can go to that. Let me just go to here. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Uh-oh, I want to make that bigger. All right, so this week on the show, actually, it's the hardest one that I did. Well, it was really an interesting one because I had to learn to stop abandoning myself. And so the idea for this show this week was, stop abandoning yourself and, to keep other people. A lot of times we like shrink ourselves just so we won't lose that person that we feel like is so valuable in our life, which 9 times out of 10 that they aren't if you are shrinking. And I found that out to be so true. But yeah, so again, inspiration behind abandoning yourself is just know who you are, right? And you shouldn't have to shrink for anyone, you know? I think a lot of times because we haven't loved ourselves enough that we just take on anything. And that is something that's huge. Like, it's huge because you have to learn to love yourself, and it's a process, and it's not something that's, oh, well, I'll just say this for me, it wasn't overnight, right? Um, but I do want to ask, like, when is the last time you disappointed someone and you didn't immediately try to fix it? Um, I know that, and I'll go first. For me, I guess it would have to be with like a family member that I know I disappointed them, but at the time I couldn't, or I didn't have the heart to like tell them actually what I was going through and why I couldn't show up because they were so used to me showing up, for every single thing. And then the first time I said no, it's kind of like the first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. Beyonce said it the best. um, and I know just from, doing these lives, uh, I can remember a woman in the past session told me she couldn't remember a single time that she disappointed someone, and I thought that was valid because she didn't have not one, and that answer is her answer. Like, some people do have that where they haven't disappointed someone and immediately try to fix it like she did. So kudos to her. Um, Again, welcome in anyone who is there. This is Kalonda with Empower Her Vibes. And tonight I'm just going to go with the raw and uncut version of the episode 5. If you heard it, then you got the map. You got the gist of the story. But this evening, I just want to actually, you know, walk on the terrain a little bit slower. Like I just want to slow walk this down, walk it out, walk it out. Slower, deeper together. I can talk to you for 30 minutes on a podcast, but this is the part where I kind of like feedback, and that I thrive off feedback, right? Because there's the connection there. So again, here's how tonight's gonna work, and I need you. I need you in on it. So every time if I ask you something, just answer it in the chat. Not because it's cute, because naming it is how you interrupt it. Let that sit there. Naming it is how you interrupt it, right? Once you name it. Um, and the women who just lurk and leave the same as they came, hey, no harm, no foul. The ones who put their truth in the chat, I think that's what I am looking for, right? Because I think something shifts for women when they speak their truth, own it. When I as a woman own it. And, tonight, you just choose what you want to be, choose which one you're going to be, right? So let's go by typing one word tonight. And that word can be anything, right? It can be anything. Um, and, we'll come back to that, right? I'll start with my word, and my word is consistently. Um, consistently, consistency, consistent, concentration, like anything consistent, ongoing, keep going, but at the root of it, it's consistency. I mean, and your word doesn't have to be that deep, tired counts, curious counts, nosy counts, you know, I see it, but hold on to that word and we'll come back to it at the end. I think it's going to mean something different by then, as we get like more into this topic. Now, here's where it all starts. Okay, so here's what tonight is actually about. It's about self-abandonment, the act of leaving yourself over and over and over automatically, just to keep people comfortable. And I'll be honest with you about something I didn't fully say in the episode. Um, I don't know why. I guess just for sake of time. Um, but this is the one that I needed the most. And like I said, I could done all the journaling. I do all the affirmations and all the mirror work, which I have. Trust me, I have. But until I dealt with that specific pattern that kept getting me to that same point, time and time again, no matter the scenario, no matter the character, it all led me down to the same feeling, the same situation, and nothing held. So I finally got really like just fed up. I'm like, this can't be life. Like literally, I woke up and I was like, this can't be it. Like this cannot be it. Like over and over, years and years and years, like something has got to give. You can build beautiful things on top of self-abandonment, but it won't stand. The foundation has to change. And that's what I learned. Like my foundation had to change. Like my foundation was so soft, like literally it was like quicksand for real. Like I was getting stuck. And it's kind of like those, there's something I saw on YouTube too that was interesting. It was like water underneath the grass. So it felt kind of like that. It wasn't really solid, but I guess tonight I just want to get into, just a couple of things and what it actually looked like in your regular ordinary day and where it comes from, like the root cause, the roots, the very, very beginning of, your foundation and what is costing you in your body and your mind, and how and how you start coming home. And unlike the episode, we're doing it with the chat. So just stay close, stick with your girl. I'm just trying it out. I mean, this is like therapy for me too, as well, getting this out, you know. I just really feel like if you've ever said I'm fine when you were nowhere near fine, let me know. Have you ever said I'm fine when you know you were nowhere near fine? I think quick gut check on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does keeping the peace run your life? I just want to keep the peace. I just want to keep the peace. I don't want to say nothing. I'm not confrontational. That's not what I do. Knowing inside like you're raging and there's a storm like about to like explode, you know? I've been there before. I have been there before. And a lot of times people, well, I think self abandonment sounds like clinical, like there's something completely wrong. There is, don't get me wrong, but it sounds so clinical. You know, it's big and it's dramatic, but it doesn't give a grand gesture, right? It lives in the ordinary choices of ordinary days. It looks like you're agreeing when you don't agree because of the friction, the disagreeing. It feels too expensive. It looks like laughing at something that actually hurts you because naming it, the feeling hurts too much of a production, right? Sometimes you just gotta speak up and say that hurt. No, like speak up for real. And it looks like I'm fine when you're so far from that. Like fine is not fine. Fine is a foreign language. Like I am fine. Are you? I'm fine. Yeah, I've been down that road before myself, and it looks like staying in a conversation that's disrespecting you because leaving feels rude. And it looks like editing your own excitement so you don't make someone else feel small. It looks like being the first to ask, "How's everyone doing?" and the last to ask yourself. But here's what I need you to hear. None of that comes from weakness. It comes from training. Somewhere you learn that your needs and your feelings and your full presence required justification. It came at a cost. So you learn to minimize it. Put yourself last. So constantly you became invisible. Even to you, like you didn't recognize yourself anymore. And I'm not saying that you're not selfless. You're selfless. There's a difference. Okay, let me say it like this. Okay, so selfless is a choice from abundance, right? Selfless is an abundance. Giving yourself away so long you forgot there was a self to start with. I'm gonna let that breathe. I'm gonna just drop that right there. Okay, let me run that back. Run that back, Quavo. So, selfless is a choice from abundance. Selfless is an abundance. Giving yourself away. You've done it so long that you forgot there was a self to start with. Which of those did you feel in your chest? Pick one. Put it in the chat. Just name that one. I'll tell you mine. I'm fine was my whole personality for about a decade. I was fine with everything. Can you get up at 4 in the morning and take this? Will you be okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Can you go do that? Yeah, that's cool. I'm fine. Like, I was fine for a decade. And I'll just be honest, it really took the passing of my grandmother in order for me to like really look at life differently. And I don't know, this may hit people at different places in their life. So I'm praying that, someone may be listening to this and it hits them at that point and they have like what Oprah would say, a aha moment. Because we all have them at different variations of our lives. And there's messages that are meant for us, when we are ready to receive it. And mine was, simply in that time frame of what happened, and it just completely changed my life in ways that, I'm still growing through it, right? So I'm fine no longer exists. Like, I'm not okay. And that's fine to say I'm not okay, you know? Like, this sucks. Are you serious? For real? But that had to become a part of me for me to grow and for me to, have that self-love and not abandon myself anymore. I always had to keep the quiet voice, not put up a too much of a noise, like, so be seen and not heard. Like, literally, those were the wrong things to teach someone for sure. Like, and I get it. Our older generation, they were taught different, right? So, but that was my I'm fine. That was me. That was me. Um, Somebody last time said hers was editing her excitement. She stopped telling people when good things happened because she felt like bragging. That broke my heart because I feel like if you are doing so good and your hard work, you're out there grinding, and good things are coming from your hard work and effort, people should know. Like, you should be excited to say your accomplishments, and that's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't have to minimize just because someone else can't receive, the goodness. What was that? There's like a verse like, you rejoice with those who rejoice, right? That's what it says in the Bible. But a lot of people, and it's sad to say, don't rejoice when you rejoice, right? Um, my heart had went out for her, but you should never have to minimize your excitement, So I know this is hard to type out loud, but just sit with it while I keep going. Just sit with it. I like to hit them heavy at the top. Yeah, but I guess what I really want to say, now that we kind of know what it looks like, the real question is why? Why? Knowing it drains us, knowing what it costs. Do we keep leaving ourselves? Three roots, three questions underneath the reasons. Okay? One of these is going to hit different than the other two. Just like this picture, none of these things are just like the other. But I'll start with the root. It's the fear of abandonment. Somewhere early, a lot of us learned love was conditional on being easy. What if we needed too much, took up too much space? People would leave, right? So we got small. We made ourselves easy to keep. We anticipated everyone's needs so they never have to ask. We made our own needs invisible so there was nothing to reject. And that's a tragedy, because it backfires. The more you erase yourself to keep people, the less the connection is. That's not a relationship with you. They're in a relationship with the performance of you. God, how long can you? Wow, a performance. How long can we keep up the performance? That's how you know when they say, you aren't like the person I met when we first met 3 years ago or 6 months ago. This is the real you. Are we performing in our relationships? Like, are we being real in our relationships? Are we showing up as ourselves? So it really does come down to that root, right? And the tragedy, like I said, it backfires. The more you erase yourself to keep people, the less the real connection is. That's why the loneliness stays, even in a room full of people who love you. They know the version you decided was safe to show. Have you ever been in a room full of people and felt lonely? Hmm. I'll let you sit with that. Have you ever been in a room where you felt you were lonely? Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt alone? Did you show up as yourself? Or was it just a performance? I don't know if that one landed, but I'm going to just land that one right there. Just say yes or no in the chat. Say yes or no in the chat. I'm going to let that one sit there. Yeah, that one landed for me. I was the easiest person in every room, and I called it kindness. It isn't. It was fear of wearing kindness as a costume. A woman also, I think, sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it until someone brings it to your attention. You know, they bring it to your attention. Okay, route two. All right, the false responsibility. Let me know if you're feeling this in the chat. Let me know for one if you're feeling it. One if you're feeling this, if you're feeling the root. All right. So, we absorb the belief that we're responsible for everyone else's emotional state. Someone's upset, and so me. The room is tense. Ours to smooth out the tension. We became emotional caregivers. Not because we were asked, because someone we decided that this was the role, right? And once you take on that role, every conflict feels like a failure. Um, every upset feeling like an emergency, you're obligated to fix. Don't get me wrong, their feelings are real, but they are not always your responsibility. They're not. You know, do you do this right now? Who in your life do you do this for the most? And you don't have to name them. Just type the relationship. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your boss that you feel like their feelings are your responsibility, that you're their emotional caretaker. Mine was everybody. I think that was the biggest problem. I had no off switch. I had no off switch. And then it was exhausting. Like, and even as I've become more and more aware and more um, evolved, should I say, woke, what the kids say these days, I feel like the circle gets smaller. Your circle definitely gets smaller. We're almost at the finish line. I think we have two more roots that I want to kind of identify. Root three, the identity entanglement. This is the deepest one for me because for a lot of us, being the one who holds everything together became who we were. You're the strong one, the reliable one, the one who never falls apart and has it all together. It feels safe because you're always the one holding. You're never the one being held. And being held means vulnerability. It means trust. It means believing you're worth someone's effort. Like, that tells me, like, for a long time, being the strong person means that you aren't able to trust. You aren't able to trust. And that's not a good place to be in. Because if you can't trust someone with your vulnerability, like, how do you want them to trust you? I think that role isn't protecting you. It's protecting you from being who you are, being known who you really are, right? It means, yeah, your role, it's costing the protection is everything. Oh no, my phone's about to die, but that's okay. I think I'm at the last one. Um, so let me know which root made you inhale sharply. Was it one, two, or three, or just a number? I already know some of the threes, and you don't want to admit it. The number in the chat is the first step. I think mine is three for the most part. It took me years to say that out loud. Um, it took me years to, like, not be the strong one and be able to rely on, opening up to someone, to be vulnerable, to trust them with that vulnerability. So I see some people have joined. Let's reset the room. Let's reset the room. Okay, if you just walk in, welcome in. Come sit down. Drop where you're watching from. A quick catch up for you. We've named what self abandonment looks like, right? Like in our everyday life. And we just walked through the three roots: fear of abandonment, fear of responsibility, identity entanglement. But the number of these, it's the one that's yours in the chat. So I know that I'm, on the right road. They were going down the right road. um, so where we're headed to next, I'm gonna make a right. um, is the part that nobody talks about. It's the pattern. It's actually doing your body and what it's doing to your body. And just stay with me. This part, it made me change. It really did. I want to get more specific, okay, about the chronic self abandonment and what it does to your body and your mind. Because we accept it at the price of being a good person. It's not. The cost of being untrue to yourself. And that's higher than you think. The cost is really high because your body is your nervous system. And like they say, health is wealth. You're constantly monitoring your mood. You're constantly scanning for what's needing. You're always calibrating yourself to keep people comfortable. That's a low vibrational state, right? It's very low. And your brain reads it as a threat, right? So, a lot of times we have this is where the high cortisol stays up. This is where the high cortisol levels, the high blood pressure, is because you never fully settle in. And that's fatigue. It comes in the form of anxiety. It comes in the form of bad sleeping habits and always feeling overwhelmed. Feeling, and I think that's a feeling that a lot of us women carry, right? And we just don't know how to name it, right? We just don't, like, we see all of the effects, but we don't know what the root is of those effects. And that's our body, like, speaking to us and talking to us. And I think in some future episodes, I really want to go through more so the physical state of what abandonment or what stress does to our body. I think that would be a good topic to talk about. Let me know. Maybe have a specialist come on, and just really understand, because I understand, like, I was bloated at times and picked up a lot of weight, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, couldn't sleep. And the root of that was my mind state. All of it starts in the mind, and then the body flows. And then, you know how they say, what's in the mind, the mouth, it flows out. Like, literally, that is so true. 100 for sure. For sure. So, your body, right? You know, and as I said, your mind. You lose access to its own interior, what you want, what you feel, what matters to you. It gets harder to find because you spend so long orbiting around everyone else and your own signal went quiet, right? Let's just think about that. Your signal died because you were using the energy source to make everyone else around you feel at a comfortable level or to feel appeased. And yet, at the same time, your signal was dying. We're going to change that. We're going to change that. We going to change that. How have you guys ever took a solo trip? I have. Best thing in the world. Best thing in the world. So, um, this I'll tell you a story. So, she took a solo trip. First one in 11 years. First night sitting alone in a restaurant. The servers asked what she liked to eat, and she froze. She genuinely did not know. She spent so many years ordering what wouldn't make anyone uncomfortable that she said she had no idea what she actually liked. She sat with that menu a long time and then cried from the sadness, from realizing how long she's been absent from her own life. Where have you been absent? Where have you gone absent? Not because you left, but because you gave yourself so completely there was no room left for you. And take your time with this one. As I'm like, as I'm reading this and saying this out loud, I know that there's one person that I feel for, and I pray that she's able to, watch this once she gets off work, um, without saying any names. But I feel like she has been that person. I have been that person, but she still is struggling with that, you know? And I just want to help. I just want to help. But I felt bad, like literally in your 60s, almost 70s, and still having a menu and not knowing what you really want. Yeah. I don't know if food was mine. Because people always ask me what I want. I always like to eat. I like meat every time. So I think um, I think probably what I'd want to do would was mine. Like I didn't care as long as whatever the other person wanted to do, I was fine. But really, when I want to do something else each and every single time, like I don't want to take a walk. Like I want to go to the movies. I don't want to like that was me. That was my thing that I had to like understand and grow and improve with it. But yeah, type in. Let me know what yours is. If you're still with me, and if this is Landon, just let me know. I'd really like to know. All right, so I know that was heavy. At least it was heavy for me because my body and my mind are definitely are things that I am making a concerted effort to like take care of. So I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave you only in the pattern. I want you to feel, even for a second, that it's like when you stop. It feels like an exhale, and you didn't know that you were holding. It's like a tension you carried so long, and you thought It was just your body. And then let go. Like walking back into a house you've been away from for years and finding exactly it's how you left it. Everything you thought you lost was just waiting. The woman you were before the world asked you to be smaller. She's still there. She's been patient and she's ready to come home. She's ready to come home. I want to say this, and I hope you hear me loud and clear. Their discomfort is not your emergency. You've been running on a faulty equation. It means that their discomfort equals my responsibility equals I must fix this right now. That's not the truth. That's programming. And programming can be rewritten. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some practice. It's going to take daily effort. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. Even if, like, you start reprogramming, you're going to have to, as the word says, reprogram, rewrite, you know? And it can be discomfort. It can be uncomfortable. But I want this to be a choice that you make for you without dismantling, the choice to make it go away. Don't, it's coming to you. Like, don't push it away because it comes back 10 times stronger, right? And I'll say it with you. Their discomfort is not my emergency. Again, even if you have to type it, even if you don't believe it just yet, belief comes after the reps, right? That's like we're working out. Like this is not going anywhere, but it's repetition, right? So we're reprogramming, and that's essentially where I would like us to land, right? To make and enhance our lives a little bit better. So I have some tools like I had on my show. If you listen to the show, I've outlined some tools that can help you with this. And it's not going to be a small task. Anything with life, I think, in changing the trajectory is going to take some work, and it's going to take some time. So I've lined up 3 tools that can probably you can take it, you can leave it, but I'm gonna just lay it right there for you. And I know that this is some things that have helped me in my growing journey, right? So let's just start with the first tool, the pause protocol. You do it live. Every time you feel the reflex to accommodate, every time you feel the need to apologize, to fold, before you do anything, just pause. 10 seconds. See? That was 10 seconds, right? 3 questions. And in those 10 seconds, these are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself. What do I actually want here? What does honoring myself look like right now? Will I respect myself afterwards? There's a lot that can be thought about in that 10-second, right? Between impulse and action. That's where your agency lives. Let's practice it right now again. Think of a small thing coming up this week where you'll be tempted to fold. You got it? Think of a small thing this week that you'll be tempted to fold. Okay. All right, so we're going to give it 10 seconds. Run these 3 questions through your head. Stay quiet with them and actually count down, right? So, I'm going to go for 10 seconds. The questions are, what do I actually want here? What does honoring myself look like right now? And will I respect myself afterwards? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got it? Okay, I want you to do that. 10 seconds. Those 3 questions on the big thing that you called out that you're going to possibly fold, apologize. I want you to do that before that action takes place. Okay. Tool. The weekly self-check-in. Every Sunday. So it's Friday. So Sunday. This is good. Take 10 minutes alone and ask 4 questions written down. This whole week, I want you to take an inventory. An inventory of where did you abandon yourself this week? Where did you choose yourself this week? What do you need that you haven't been giving yourself, right? And just for, sake of like writing it down, where did I abandon myself this week? Where did I choose myself? What do I need that I haven't been giving myself? That's one thing I'll do differently. What's your review? You interpret it, right? So Sunday, if you commit to trying it this week, public commitment sticks harder. So type in Sunday if you're committed. All right. Last one at the finish line. All right. So this last one. Oh my gosh. Okay. This last one is called the declaration. Now, I want you to pause. I want you to pause. Because nobody's typing Sunday. But that's okay. Type it just for you then. You don't need the crowd. You don't need the crowd. Okay. Now, the real part, this is where I wanted you to hear. Drop your questions, your reactions, the things that may be sitting in your chest the whole time. I'm going to sit here and go through as many as I can, but if none, then we will just keep it going because I know this is something maybe women aren't ready to like say it out loud. I mean, and that's okay. That's okay. So before I go, just one thing. With tool 3, the declaration, just find a moment this week alone, hand on your heart, and if it feels right, say these words out loud. I will never abandon myself again, not to keep the peace, not to keep people who can't hold the real me, not to earn love that should never have been conditional. I choose myself fully, consistently, starting now. I mean, say it until it stops feeling like a script and starts feeling like a promise. Because that's what it is. The most important promise you'll ever make is that declaration. That's the whole thing this was built on. And it's yours now too. That's the whole thing. My podcast literally was built on that declaration that I will not abandon myself again, ever. Facts, stated, period, exclamation point, done. Copy, paste, repeat. For real. For real. Now, remember that word I told you to hold on to? Look at it again. I bet it means something different now. I bet it means something different. But here's the thing. Again, I just want to say thank you for listening. My name is Kalonda, and check out my shows. Check and see what Empower Her Vibes is about. This is the raw version. It's no edit, no polish, just us going all the way on the route together. If it moved you, do three things: leave a review on the episode, share with the woman who needs to hear it, grab the free self worth journal. Um, it's in the show notes. And I'll drop a new episode next week, a new after show in a few days after. Same place. Um, Again, this community is just getting started, and so are you. So we're starting together, right? I'll never abandon myself. I hope now you won't either. I love you, and I'll see you next time.